Well, there's a donkey in the room in lieu of an elephant.
Yeah.
Our two favorite NFL teams, a huge trade. Jaylen Waddle goes for the Dolphins to the Broncos. Obviously, Sean and I have known each other a long time, so when he can root for the Broncos and it's not going to affect anything, he would usually be rooting for my Broncos.
Yeah, for sure. I typically do. My Dolphins don't make the playoffs very often, and your Broncos seem to. So they're usually my AFC team to root for. But yeah, no, getting my favorite Dolphins player.
Yeah, Jaylen Waddle to the Denver Broncos. It's the kind of move that we've been hoping for from Broncos country, at least if you're on Twitter. People are getting so frustrated. You would have thought the team literally just missed the playoffs last season, the way people were reacting.
Right.
As soon as free agency opened and the Broncos didn't like sign somebody, I mean, not to throw any specific shade, but Liv Moods. I saw Mace was kind of poo-pooing Jaylen Waddle a little bit, comparing him to other players. And I just don't think a lot of people get it. Shout out to Benjamin Albright, who I think really put it in perspective. Like, Jaylen Waddle brings another type of receiver that you didn't have before with the current Broncos wide receivers, which were almost complete. And the experience with which he does that thing is way more important than a rookie at number 30 this year for where your window is. Like, they're right in their Super Bowl window.
Right. No, for sure. And it's a team that can actually capitalize on the skill set that Jaylen Waddle brings right now. But, I think the Dolphins thought they were close, and then certain things just didn't work out. And so I think the value was good, but no, I'll let you continue for now.
I mean, everyone who's saying the Broncos gave up too much for Jaylen Waddle, what are you smoking? Let's go through it. The Broncos moved up in the 4th round and gave up a 3rd and a 1st. So Jaylen Waddle essentially for a 1 and a 3, because the Dolphins had a way better 4th round pick. So the swap alone is extra compensation for the Denver Broncos.
Right.
I mean, it's the end of the 1st round. Denver is good. No way there's a guaranteed starter in 2026 at that pick.
Right. No, sure. So you're essentially saying, we would rather use pick 30 on Jaylen Waddle if we can make that happen.
Yeah. Their most recent 1st round pick, Jahdae Barron, cornerback. Oh, the Broncos took a corner in the 1st round. He's going to be opposite PS2. He's going to be playing all season. The Broncos are going to have a shutdown defense. He defended, guess how many passes last season, Sean?
I couldn't tell you. I don't.
He played in 17 games. Give me a guess how many passes you think he defended.
10?
That's too high. 5.
Oh my gosh.
He defended 5 passes, played 17 games, 5 pass defenses. I mean, the Broncos called him a steal. And I mean, I think it's not like he's a bust. He was a rookie on a team that didn't have a lot of holes on defense. So he had time to learn. I'm sure he's going to have a much better sophomore year. I'm not picking on Barron, but you're going to tell me that what Jaylen Waddle is actually doing versus trading away for a guy that's going to have a learning curve and doesn't need to play right away. Like, there's no wide receiver you're going to get at 30 that's going to be able to plug and play rookie year.
No, I agree. And I think he goes to a team, like I said, that's set up for him to succeed. Cortland Sutton's already there. They've got, a great run game that Sean Payton's always known for. I think he's going to see a lot of targets and continued success. The question mark's going to be the health, right? It seems like almost every game he comes off the field for at least a few plays with something. But
since 2022, among every wide receiver in the NFL with at least 400 targets, Jaylen Waddle is number 1 in yards per target, 10 yards per target. All of the Denver defense, this was an ESPN graphic, averaged 7.3 yards per target combined, or all of the wide receivers on the Broncos combined 7.3.
Yeah.
So he was number 1 ahead of George Pickens, Puka Nacua, AJ Brown, who everyone keeps saying, whoa, is this worth as much as AJ Brown? Like, what who wants AJ Brown, the guy that pouts his way out of every team at this point? Like, it's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, he got a mulligan for wanting to get out of Tennessee because they were a clown show.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to the Eagles and won a Super Bowl, and everyone kind of forgot he did that. But now, like, why is he unhappy in Philly? What else do you need?
Wide receiver's going to wide receiver, man.
I'm telling you, it's like they call it the difference between poor person problems and rich people problems. Like, rich people problems is like, this door creaks too much, you know?
Yeah.
You're lucky it's not like, where am I going to get my rent money?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the part that should make every Broncos fan lose their mind. Waddle and Courtland Sutton were 2 of just 5 players in the NFL last season with at least 20 vertical receptions. They were already playing in the same statistical neighborhood, and now they're playing on the same field. You're one Bo Nix ankle away from the Super Bowl. People said that to me all offseason. I've been wearing my Broncos coat a little bit longer this year because it's been a little bit colder in March.
Mm-hmm.
And literally unprompted twice this week, somebody said, nice jacket. Y'all would have gone to the Super Bowl if Bo didn't hurt his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, almost verbatim. And it's like, it's not that I think they're necessarily right or wrong. It's just so interesting that that's the takeaway after your team goes to the AFC Championship, that people just keep telling me, man, woulda, coulda.
Yep.
They probably woulda. And I'm like, all right. I'm used to people just telling me that Peyton Manning was a game manager when he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And just trying to deflate it. Now they're just like, oh, well, you almost had it. It's like,
could have been.
It's almost worse.
Yeah.
I mean, and you talked about it. Courtland Sutton's on the field, but we also have Troy Franklin, who's developing pretty well. Pat Bryant, who's supposed to be more like a Marquise Colson, and then Marvin Mims for years. I mean, they're good. They're going to be developing long-term. Trade for a guy. It reminds me of another trade.
Yeah.
10 years ago, he was a Steeler. He signed a 3-year, $15 million deal for a team that had just had the best offense in NFL history. His name was Emmanuel Sanders.
Yep.
Many will not remember this, but Eric Decker was on the team when they set the record and went to the Super Bowl against Seattle. Then Sanders came in and was on the team when they actually won the Super Bowl. R.I.P. Wes Welker, you did not get a Super Bowl. He's not dead. I mean, but like, you know, his NFL career is over.
Coaching somewhere.
Emmanuel Sanders, one good addition on offense at the right time, comes in. It reminds me a lot of how Jaylen Waddle could be. I'm just saying. And this is what really kills me. George Payton mortgaged the future is what some people are saying. Got rid of the first round pick, right? The last 2 drafts where Denver had no first round pick and drafted in like the second round. Do you know who they took?
Not a clue.
Marvin Mims, Pro Bowl returner, and the gadget weapon that had that vertical pass. Like, has all the vertical action in the playoffs, like when it matters.
Yep.
And a guy named Nick Bonito, arguably one of the best pass rushers in the entire league.
Yeah.
So when George Payton doesn't have a first round pick, he does pretty good. James Palmer reported the Broncos had interest in Waddle at the trade deadline last season and chose not to pull the trigger. My guess is they wanted a good look at this draft class first because of what the Dolphins were asking for. So I have even more confidence in the trade because I know George Payton has been drafting really well. And so after they had a chance to look at the 2026 class and who would go in the first round, they said, we would rather have Jaylen Waddle. So
yeah.
Anybody who's trying to poo-poo this decision, I'm just like, come on, let him play on the field. Yeah, he could get hurt. You're totally right. He could get hurt. All of the players could get hurt. Didn't Deebo Samuel make it through a season last year?
I think so.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
We talk about did Christian McCaffrey miss time?
I think so. Late. Yeah.
Season was over.
Right.
But Sean, your thoughts? I mean, like I've kind of like one follow-up as a Dolphins fan, just like, but what are your thoughts?
No, I mean, it kind of, I think after it's been a couple days now, it's a move that I can look at and kind of see as being beneficial for both sides. You know, it gets Denver in a better position to win now because they're more ready to win now. And it gives the Dolphins more assets for the future, which is very clearly what they're looking towards right now. It's, you know, of course they're going to go out there and try to win every game, but look at the roster. It's not Super Bowl ready by any means. So I think gathering assets right now, kind of correcting that cap situation is the move. It's not the sexiest thing for fans, but I think it's what needs to happen, and hopefully this reset can actually start something new here. I hate to see him go. Glad they still have Achan, but I think the reset is needed.
2 first-round picks this year. Malik Willis on a deal from free agency, but not a crazy deal. Not like a crazy amount of money. He didn't get like $30 million a year like people said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going to break us if it doesn't work out. And if it's something that does work out, then it's kind of a good deal.
I mean, Malik Willis always had the tools to kind of roll out and run. Now everyone's trying to say he's developed the tools to pass. It helps that the head coach that just came in was on the same team as Willis for like a couple years now. But
you just to wonder, did they tell him that this was in the works when they were?
The question.
Yeah,
that's the question.
Because I think news is he turned down the Jets, and I'm sure those weren't the only 2 teams that called him.
Well, I mean, but honestly, if you had to pick between the Dolphins or the Jets, even if they lose Jaylen Waddle, I'd rather be in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
taxes reasons, weather reasons. He's already been a backup quarterback, so he had to kind of consider some of that.
Yeah, I guess at least in New York you have Garrett Wilson, but
But I mean, the Dolphins have 2 first-round picks.
That's right.
What if they take a wide receiver of the future that fits what they need to do now? Because honestly, getting rid of some of these mistakes, here's something worth highlighting. That 2021 blockbuster trade where the Dolphins gave up the 3rd overall pick to San Francisco. Every single player acquired with a first-round pick in that trade is now gone from both teams.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, Jaylen Waddle, traded this week. Tyreek Hill, released in February. Bradley Chubb. I mean, less than 5 years, all of them gone. And the last time Miami had multiple first-round picks, they used them on Tua, Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany.
It's a tough one.
I almost had it.
Yeah.
See, but you know why we don't know his name?
Yeah.
What has he done?
Not a ton. He was okay for a year.
And Jalen Phillips went to go get paid elsewhere. He went to Carolina. So he was like a good landing spot, but now he's gone.
Yeah, it's brand new, man. It really is. There's not much. We have Devon Achan and a couple people on the defense that are carryover, but other than that, I mean, it's all new.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how this new GM operates because I think your team could be turned around almost as quickly as the Broncos if you have the right draft picks when you take in capital like that. So it's nice to see that they're stripping it to the studs because
curious to see the general fan base reaction to this is a new regime that just comes in and immediately trades away the fan favorite. That's a move. Again, I think I like it. I like the assets and looking forward, but the casual fan might be like, what are these guys doing? They're coming in here and gutting, that's the only jersey I have, that sort of thing,
I feel like I heard an analyst I won't name filling in for a prominent sports radio person this week. And they were making the argument that the Dolphins are clearly tanking. And I heard several other shows say, oh, the Dolphins are obviously tanking. They're tanking. And I just think that that's the dumbest thing people could say because you have your head so far up the fantasy football atmosphere. If you think that all these people are clocking in for their job every day and they're like, oh, we're going to be terrible.
Yeah, that they're not going to go out there and try and want to win. Yeah.
Like the GM can give them less to use, but when you're paying Tua a ton of money to go hang out in Atlanta and compete with Michael Penix on one leg, you've got to cut people. It's not like they're trying to lose.
Yeah.
Like this new coach is not going to come in and go, yeah, I really love to go into my second year already with a losing record and the entire city's lost faith in me. It's just, it's just the dumbest one-dimensional sports take I've ever heard. And it was crazy to hear so many people do it. Cause I'm like,
nah.
Even when they tanked for Tua, they were trying.
Yeah. Brian Flores had that team playing.
Yeah. Brian Flores was not going to lay down. He wouldn't even let them replace him with the cloak and dagger boat meeting. That's what we want, Netflix. We want a documentary about the boat meeting, about the yacht meeting. How many years until it's fine? We'll put a bow on it, but Miami is cap compliant after Waddle's dead cap hit briefly put them $8.5 million over. They didn't have to cut anyone to fix it. And once Bradley Chubb's post June 1st designation kicks in June 2nd, Miami should have $20 million in cap space. So GM John Eric Sullivan, coach Jeff Hafley. I mean, we'll see how they can do.
Yeah, a couple of first round picks, nice fresh start. We'll see what happens. I think if there ever was a window open the past couple of years, it's closed. So see how long it takes them to start reopening it.
How upset will you be if they take a quarterback in the first round?
I don't know who it would be unless they make some stupid, crazy move for Mendoza, which I don't even think the Raiders would entertain. So
Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Nah.
Have you guys ever drafted a quarterback from Alabama? I can't remember.
How's that work out? Yeah.
I can't remember. Well, it worked out pretty good for the Patriots.
That's true. I did.
They took the second UNC quarterback. Coming up, we got pop culture. Spider-Man. Someone's coming back via AI, and The Bachelorette got pulled off TV like days before. What?
Welcome to Wit and Grit, where Ian and Sean break down sports betting, pop culture, or whatever's on their minds. The Wit and Grit Podcast.
We also got some information on how to break up with somebody. A unique breakup trend coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you?
No.
Thank you for joining us live on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you might be watching. All right, well, you probably saw it, so we're not going to play it here, but the trailer dropped earlier this week, and it was pretty good. Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've been publicly saying, why isn't there a trailer yet?
Seriously.
What are they hiding? And they do this whole weird fan campaign thing where they dropped like a little scene here, scene there. So like outlets were out there trying to piece them all together. And then I kind of just waited till they put the whole trailer together for me. But it was pretty cool that the first image they released from it was that iconic cover of Spider-Man kind of swinging with the person in their arm.
Yeah. Very nice, kind of hearkening back to some of the origins of the character there. I think they're going to do that a few times in the movie, like kind of recreate some of those iconic covers.
So in 24 hours, the trailer got 718 million views. 718 million in a day.
That's insane. Yeah, I mean, obviously people still have, there's still huge demand for this content, especially Spider-Man. I know a lot of people are out on Marvel on the whole, but I think even those people still kind of turn their head when they hear Spider-Man.
I mean, to put that in context, the previous record was Deadpool and Wolverine at 365 million views. So this thing nearly doubled it. It also passed the GTA 5 trailer, which had held the all-time record for any trailer, movie, or game at 475 million. Spider-Man blew past all of it.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's so quickly, too.
In 8 hours, it had already broken the previous record. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's going to be a huge movie, right? I mean, it's with all this hype around it and kind of the way they're positioning the character to kind of hold up the universe for a while, it seems. I'm really curious about it.
Yeah. I mean, what made the movie, everyone who hasn't watched it yet, well, you're watching on stream right now, like, I wish we could have showed the trailer. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could show the trailer because I feel like I want to reference back to it. So I really hope that whoever's listening to this actually watched it.
I don't know with like copyright and stuff like that. Something
as long as we're reacting to it, it's fine on stream. As far as I don't know, there is a new boss in town, right? But essentially, I mean, it seems like they're tying in a lot of the best Spider-Man elements that were not missing or that have been missing, like the hand I think I saw in one scene that was only used really in the Daredevil Netflix series with the Defenders. I
think I've read too that Daredevil season 2 is going to be like all but required viewing for this movie.
That makes a lot of sense when you see Punisher in the movie, because I think he might be suspiciously absent from Daredevil season 2, and that might be why.
We'll see. Yeah,
I heard there's also gonna be a rogues gallery.
Seems that way, just kind of already from the trailer. I mean, why don't we set it up a little bit, right? So it's been 4 years since No Way Home. Peter Parker basically just erased himself from the memories of everyone he loves voluntarily, living completely alone. New York doesn't know his name, but he's full-time Spider-Man now. Nothing else. He doesn't really have to be Peter anymore because essentially he's kind of not in anyone's mind anyway. So there's this kind of log line about a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence, which is going to be kind of crazy. Might have some theories about that.
Tom Holland back, Zendaya's back. Sadie Sink is an interesting addition, right? She's done with Netflix now for a little bit.
And we're still not confirmed who she is, right? I know there's even more suspicion that it's Jean Grey, but they haven't actually confirmed anything.
Right, and that would be a good way to kind of pull some things together, but introducing a new Jean Grey right before the doomsday of it all, when we think the rest of the X-Men are coming back. Or maybe you have to introduce the new ones before you can introduce...
Right.
It feels like there's too much going on in this movie to introduce the X-Men, because from what I heard, there's going to be like a whole rogues gallery.
Well, we saw Scorpion, right?
Yeah.
And we know that Scorpion last talked to Vulture, right? When Vulture was being processed in the jail cells or whatever in the hallway.
Yeah, but that's in the Sony movies, isn't it? Or are those are the same movies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are Sony. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. It gets so confusing.
I know. Yeah. So,
Sony's just like, if you keep paying us for Spider-Man, we'll be fine. What do we have to do to keep making Spider-Man money?
Like, Vulture won't surprise me at all if he pops up. Kind of expect that, actually. I don't know about maybe like an Electro. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any like surprises, though. Like, are we going to get Venom? Are they going to actually do anything with that? They've already teased that.
I mean, doesn't he first wear the black suit during Secret Wars in the comics?
I believe so. Yeah.
So
maybe we're going to get that before we actually get Venom or Eddie or whatever, however they're going to do that.
It feels like they're just going to forget about it.
That kind of sucks.
I don't know. I mean, well, the Spider-Man movie coming out right before the big team-up movie, there's no way they're going to be queuing up some random Sony thing, right?
No, that's a good point.
Every movie they've had before this big Avengers movie ends with some dramatic scene that the Russo brothers directed, and it ends up being the first scene of the actual movie. So you can just watch them back to back if you're some sicko.
Maybe they do
go anywhere.
Maybe they do more symbiote stuff post these next two Avengers movies.
It's kind of weird we didn't get another Doctor Strange sighting ever since his movie.
He just disappeared with Clea, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
She must be too expensive for Marvel. Yeah. Well, this one's complicated, so let me walk you through it. Val Kilmer, who died in 2025 after a long battle with throat cancer, is going to appear in a film called As Deep as the Grave.
That he wasn't alive to shoot.
He never shot a single scene. He was cast.
Mm-hmm.
He was scheduled. He wanted to be there.
He was really excited about it, actually.
And he was too sick to make it. So the director has now used generative AI to put him in the movie anyway.
Yeah, I'd heard about this yesterday, I believe, and it's sad but interesting, and I don't know, it's kind of going to be setting an interesting precedent, I think.
The family's on board, at least. I mean, his daughter Mercedes gave a statement supporting it. His son Jack's supportive. The director says they compensated the estate. They used SAG guidelines, and Kilmer himself, before he died, had already gone down this road. He worked with an AI company called Sonanic to recreate his speaking voice for Top Gun Maverick because his throat cancer had damaged his ability to speak. He was an early adopter of this technology by choice. So, I mean, Mercedes Kilmer's quote stuck with me. She said her father always looked at emerging technologies with optimism as a tool to expand the possibilities of storytelling. Which is essentially, I mean, if CGI is going to be doing all the practical effects, how more real is that, right?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, no, exactly. It is like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of precedent this sets. Are we going to be able to now just kind of quote unquote cast anyone in any movie, living or dead? Like, I don't know. Like is Abraham Lincoln going to be able to star in an actual Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter movie or whatever that was back like 10 years ago?
Abraham Lincoln will probably be a podcast guest host of
yeah, exactly.
Glenn Beck.
Like, how far does this go, man?
I don't know. The movie itself is about Southwestern archaeologists excavating in Cañon de Chile, tracing the history of the Navajo people. So, Kilmer had Native American heritage and deep ties to the Southwest. He lived in New Mexico. So the role was literally designed around him and his life. I could see how it was kind of hard to do with him just disappearing.
Yeah.
A priest battling a wasting illness.
Yeah, while Kilmer himself was, of course, battling throat cancer.
You're going to have a robot recreate a guy who died from a disease suffer from a disease in the recreated AI version of himself.
Where does it end?
That's I hope they do that right. I mean,
Yeah.
is this all just to get us talking about the movie so we actually go see it?
Right. Could be. Could be.
Well, quick one, but we have to mention it because the video from TMZ is absolutely wild.
Oh
The
my gosh, I saw that
Bachelorette,
this morning. This is
Yeah.
insane.
She was supposed to premiere this Sunday on ABC, but it's been pulled completely off the schedule.
Hope you guys didn't have parties planned already.
The lead was Taylor Frankie Paul. She's a TikTok personality who became famous through a show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This week, video surfaced of an alleged domestic violence incident between her and her partner, Dakota Mortensen. TMZ posted the footage. ABC and Disney pulled the premiere the same day. Is
Yeah.
anyone besides me like, okay, wait a minute. Why is she on The Bachelorette if she has a partner with these allegations? Or is I guess are they split up?
They must be. Like I don't know anything about her. Just literally that one video I've seen. It's her as a guy, and there is a kid that he refers to as your daughter. So she must at least have a child, and it wouldn't be a stretch to assume it was their child. So like, I have no idea. That's a great question. How was she going to be on The Bachelorette?
The brutal timing.
Like, yeah.
The brutal timing is that she spent all week doing press live with Kelly and Mark. Good Morning America. I mean, she was at a press dinner Monday night, and then she had been publicly promoting this season all week and was quoted saying, "Every premiere I've experienced, I've never enjoyed fully. This is another one." And then the day after all of that, the season gets completely pulled.
Yeah. It's not a show I like watch or keep up with at all, but I know it's huge, and I know like there's a ton of people that are going to be real bummed out about this. And I'm guessing with a show like this, they have it all filmed already, like with most TV, right? So
I mean,
like, the money's been spent, people have been paid, like marketing's been done, like it's over. This is just a straight loss.
A bunch of production people are going to lose their jobs, I think.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Can you believe they don't have another Bachelorette in the waiting? Like,
Yeah, does this lead to like an alternate now?
couldn't you just get somebody else in there in like a week? Or do they do like, they must do a lot more research to try to find people who may or may not be compatible. They probably definitely bring a few that are not compatible at all just to make the show interesting.
So it's better TV. Yeah. Yeah.
So we
No,
could
but I mean,
we
this
couldn't
is-
dare spend all this money and put them on television with just like a hope and a prayer.
Mhm.
Like,
No,
actually,
the
they
vetting
just-
for these things has to be crazy.
They just sit down and have really boring dinners every night.
Yeah.
They use the zip line every night. They tug on it.
Feels like that he was just there for the zip line.
Yeah, it feels like he was just there for the zip line. All right, pop culture. A trend going around right now called the Alpine Divorce. Or if we're getting into the F1, it's the Alpine Divorce. And I want you to sit
What?
with that phrase. Wait, hit it again.
Wait, what?
Sit with that phrase for a second. An Alpine Divorce is when a man takes a woman on a hike and then breaks up with her on the trail and just leaves.
That's kind of messed up, dude. Like obviously, like not a great time. Like it's gonna suck, like emotionally, but like that's a terrible place to leave somebody. It's in the middle of the woods.
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just telling you about it. It's not like I did it.
it. Yeah, sure.
Vice did a full piece on this. It blew up on
culture.
TikTok. There are women sharing their stories. One said her ex dumped her after taking her hiking at night and was making comments specifically designed to freak her out. And she had a full panic attack on the trail. Another described saying, "I can't keep up. Can you slow down?" And her boyfriend just kept walking faster.
Dude, that's messed up. That's really messed up. I guess her ex-boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get off the trail in time, you're off. You're done.
Oh my gosh.
The term actually gained traction from a manslaughter trial linked to a fatal hiking case in Austria. So I'll leave it at that.
Man. Dude, that's really messed up. I've not heard of this. That's crazy.
The psychology of why men do this is actually the most interesting part. Psychologists say outdoor settings feel less confrontational to the person doing the dumping. No eye contact forced. You can keep moving. You can physically escape the discomfort. Poor emotional regulation.
Yeah.
Act fast to end your own discomfort. Consequence to the other person. Be damned.
some super low emotional IQ stuff, man.
Yeah, one person gets to escape an uncomfortable conversation. The other person is standing on a trail they don't know, heartbroken, maybe scared, and has to figure out how to get home alone.
That's nothing about that is cool or good or funny. Like, if you need to end a relationship, that's your business. But like, come on, man. No, please, no one
parts of it
listening
are
to it like
kind of
this.
funny. Parts of it are kind
Dude,
of funny. Parts of it are, it's kind of funny. I mean, come on. There's definitely, it's not like women are the only ones that have had bad breakups.
I don't know.
We don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's a
If it
lot
was
of
like a
bad
skit
behavior
in
from
TV
all
or
sides.
something.
All sides.
I think I could laugh at it if it was like a skit in TV or movie or something, but like knowing that people are actually doing this is kind of messed up.
Do you prefer ghosting? I mean, at least you know where they stand. They literally
Man.
took off in front
What
of
is-
you. I mean,
what is
it's like
dating
they
these
closed
days,
the
dude?
door.
I'm gonna get ghosted. I'm gonna get Alpine. I'm gonna get who knows
I'm
what
gonna
else.
get that old
man.
Alpine divorce, dude.
What
Don't
is it?
Alpine divorce me.
Or ghosts on the mountains or whatever you're saying to me. I don't know.
Within the
dude.
first month, if she invites you on a trail, say, "Nuh-uh, not gonna get me."
I know all about it.
Yeah, I read. Anybody miss the breakup text yet?
Yeah, right. So this is just the latest in a trend of kind of cowardly ways to go about this sort of thing.
You got to get a,
Escalation of avoidance.
it's rough out there. It's rough.
Oh God.
All right, so here's our Seinfeld of the week based on some of these topics. George tries the Alpine divorce on a girl he's been too scared to break up with, takes her hiking in Central Park, waits until the reservoir, delivers the news, and then realizes he has no idea how to get back. She went to college in Vermont. She's fine. He calls Jerry from a maintenance shed at dusk. She anti-Alpine divorced me, Jerry. Meanwhile, Kramer starts a travel company called Silk Road Tours because the Middle East conflict shut down the major airlines. Cosmo, the Silk Road hasn't been a trade route in 500 years, Jerry said. But the road is still there, Kramer would reply.
Oh
You
my
like
gosh.
that?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I just did a little bit of trivia last night, and one of the questions was, what was Kramer's first name?
Did you
I
get
got
it?
right. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
One of the answers was he doesn't have one, and I was close to picking that, but
Cosmo.
yeah. Crazy first name. Crazy name. Cosmo Kramer.
But it's alliterative, and you remembered it.
It is. Yeah.
So, You ready to F around?
What's that for round?
Excellent. Do you have any music? Do you have the music?
For effing around?
Yeah.
No.
It's because we don't have any.
You put me on the spot there, man.
All right. Well, it's time to F around.
All right. 2 races down. 2 Mercedes victories. 1 teenage history maker. And an absolute nightmare for McLaren. And 1 team that found a way to make its already catastrophic situation somehow even more chaotic.
We're going to lead with Aston Martin this week because the story that started with nerve damage and empty batteries has now escalated into a full leadership shakeup. Jonathan Whateley has left Audi. The Aston Martin structure is being rebuilt in real time. So we'll start there. Then we'll get into China. Kimi Antonelli's historic win. Lewis Hamilton's storybook podium. McLaren's nightmare. Verstappen's meltdown. And where the championship stands heading into Japan, which is not till next weekend. So let's start with the biggest story in F1 this week that has nothing to do with lap times. Aston Martin is reshaping its entire senior leadership structure, and the domino that kicked it off landed at Audi. Reports emerged from the Italian motorsport press that Adrian Newey, serving as team principal since the start of 2026 on top of his technical role, looks set to step back from the TP duties. The name targeted as his replacement, Jonathan Whateley, Audi's team principal. And before that, Red Bull's long-serving sports director.
Right. Was with Red Bull for quite a while. He only just joined Audi last April.
He did, and Audi scored a point in Australia, their first as a rebranded team. He'd had a genuinely strong start, but the story moved quickly. Wheatley has since left Audi with immediate effect. F1.com's Lawrence Barretto has the details. Aston Martin approached Wheatley about becoming their team principal. Part of the appeal he'd be returning to the UK where his wife lives. No formal deal has been announced yet as of this taping, and will almost certainly serve gardening leave before he can officially start anywhere, but he is now available.
So it's no longer speculation. He walked out the door.
With immediate effect at Audi, Mattia Binotto, who was already head of the F1 project, will now assume team principal duties permanently alongside his existing role. The logic of the Aston move: Newey and Wheatley worked together at Red Bull for over a decade through the 2010, 2013, and 2021 and 2024 title eras. They know each other. Wheatley knows how to run the operational and political side of a team. Newey's happiest place is at a drawing board, not in paddock meetings and FIA commission votes. The Athletics reporting that the TP role was always an awkward fit for Newey. He even said when he took it, they may as well pick it up. It's not the language of someone who wanted a job. Lawrence Stroll put out a statement this week worth reading carefully. He said, Newey is my partner and an important shareholder, and that Aston does not adopt the traditional team principal role by design. Newey's primary focus is strategic and technical leadership. He also noted they are regularly approached by senior executives of other teams who wish to join, but don't comment on speculation.
And that statement doesn't deny Wheatley's coming. It just redefines what the structure looks like when he gets there.
Exactly, like positioning. And it's needed. Aston is last in the constructors with 0 points. Drivers who couldn't complete race distance without risking nerve damage. Only 2 batteries left at one point in Melbourne with no backup. The mechanics up until 4 a.m. The Honda vibration issues still unresolved. I mean, it's just a full organizational crisis. If Wheatley arrives after gardening leave, Newey freed up entirely to focus on car design, a proven operational leader running the day-to-day. It's actually the right structure for how Newey does his best work. So the problem is this would make Aston Martin's 5th different team principal since 2021. At some point, the revolving door has to stop spinning.
Yeah, I mean, at least this time they'd be spinning it towards someone who knows exactly what it takes to run a championship caliber F1 operation, and that's got to count for something.
Yeah, but I mean, like we said, Aston Martin for a while has just been the team that's, oh, wait till you see it.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this. Wait till you see it. It'll get here.
You can't keep talking about tomorrow, man. You can't.
Yeah, you got to eventually deliver.
Yeah.
Are we back on the Dolphins?
PTSD, man.
China. Kimi Antonelli won the Chinese Grand Prix, his first Formula One victory. He is 19 years old.
A teenager.
He is now the second youngest Grand Prix winner in the history of the sport.
And it was really done in emotional fashion.
Yeah. I mean, he cried. Look, I'll be honest. I was not really ready for that. You watch this kid who came into the season replacing Lewis Hamilton, fastest in testing, all the hype in the world, 5 penalty points already from his rookie season. And then he wins in China and just completely loses it. So, I mean, it was nice to see a human moment from him because he's been super robotic, trying to just fit in. Don't stick out. Don't stick out.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Earn your keep sort of thing. Yep.
And Antonelli started from pole. Hamilton, his predecessor at Mercedes, actually led off the start line. Incredible getaway from Ferrari. But Antonelli reclaimed the lead within a couple of laps and controlled it from there. George Russell second, Hamilton third. His first podium in Ferrari red. A full story in that podium alone. I mean, if you look at it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, just in before you give us the final, the golden boy for Mercedes heyday that they're trying to get back to is standing right there making his first podium in red as they're finally having their second race in a row of feeling like they're back in their heyday, right? So it's like they're starting a new title era if they can keep up this kind of dominance.
No, for sure. For sure. And to round out the top 10 there, we've got Antonelli, Russell, Hamilton, Leclerc, Behrman for Haas in 5th, Haas's best result of the season so far. Lawson 7th for the Racing Bulls. Colapinto 10th. Alpine's second consecutive points finish there. And Carlos Sainz 9th, with Williams' first points of the season, driven from 17th.
The sprint was won by Russell. Antonelli dropped back to 5th in the sprint after a time penalty across the full weekend. Mercedes collected an enormous haul.
Starting off strong.
Let's spend a little bit more time on the Hamilton podium because it isn't just like a racing story, right? It's like when Lewis Hamilton is doing well, this sport's doing better. And 2025, as he admitted, we covered it here, was a nightmare. No wins, no podiums, no pole positions. First time in 20 years of racing, he didn't stand on the podium. He described the offseason as needing to completely unplug from the Matrix, which, Lewis, that's a dated thing to say. The Matrix is pretty old now, my man. You're showing our age.
90s, right? Was it 99? Was it 01?
Was it 01?
I'm on it.
You get on that. I'll go over a little bit more of this. He trained from China Day. Oh my gosh. He trained from Christmas Day. He talked about rediscovering himself. He went through what he called the heaviest and most intense winter training program of his career. He showed up to Ferrari's factory and worked on the car's design alongside the engineers. And when those inputs showed up on the actual car, he said, to see them listen and put some of those things I'd asked for on the car, I'm incredibly grateful. It just makes you feel more united with everyone. And oh yeah, he started like low-key kind of dating Kim Kardashian. I don't know if that helped.
Probably.
So
The Matrix did release in 1999.
You nailed it.
Yep. I rewatched all those like 2 years ago, so that might be why it stuck out to me. Anyway, in China, getting back to Hamilton here, he just looked more like himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, the battle between Hamilton and Leclerc in the second half of the race was the highlight of the weekend. They swapped positions multiple times. Leclerc came on the radio mid-race and said, unprompted, "This is actually quite a fun battle." Hamilton described it afterwards as go-karting, back and forth, back and forth. There's a thin piece of paper between us sometimes.
Right. His exact words on the podium experience. I've been pushing for a podium. It was the hardest thing just to get a podium compared to a lot of my career. The Ferrari team principal, Fred Vasseur, said it could be Hamilton's breakthrough moment for the team.
I mean, and the podium image, Antonelli in the center, Russell on the left, Hamilton on the right. And standing in the middle, Peter Bonington, who was Hamilton's race engineer for 12 years and is now Antonelli's race engineer. Mercedes past and present all in one frame, like I talked about.
Yeah. Hamilton asked both Antonelli and Russell for a selfie before the press conference, and then also got a photo with Antonelli and his press officer, who's someone he'd worked with too.
Hamilton said, "I started this voyage, this dream of moving to Ferrari and being on the top set with them. This podium has taken longer than I'd hoped, but it's such a privilege to be part of this brand."
When asked if a Ferrari win was in sight, I could say it's more in sight than ever before. Last season, it could have been further from view.
I mean, his mom was there. She watched from the grandstand. It was Mother's Day in the UK. They traveled through a national park in China together before the race weekend. Hamilton said it was a trip he'd rarely imagined he could take her with him on.
Yeah, and some stories just don't need analysis. That's pretty cool. That's one of them.
All right, Sean, your team.
Yeah, McLaren. I know.
Both Norris and Piastri failed to start the Chinese Grand Prix. Technical problems for both cars. A complete double DNF before the lights even went out, combined with Piastri crashing out before his home race in Australia. McLaren has scored just 18 points through 2 Grand Prix weekends. Mercedes has dominated both. They're a distant third in the constructors.
So how bad is the situation? How deep is the hole they find themselves in here?
80 points behind Mercedes after 2 rounds. McLaren team boss Andrea Stella was honest about it. These points could have been important at the end of the season, so the most important shortcoming is not scoring the points. He also said they're just losing ground.
Yeah, Zach Brown gave a bit of a rallying call to the factory staff after the race, saying, "We've got the 2 best drivers in the world, best racing team in the world, the best culture. When we win our next race, which will be sooner rather than later, we're not going to be thinking about speed traces or batteries. We're going to be thinking about winning Grand Prix races." And that's a pep talk to his own team. That's not a statement of dominance.
No. McLaren have been the best team on the grid for 2 years. They're currently third. The championship window is open right now, but they're not in it. And every race matters to get them back in the window, the hunt, which, analogy you want to use here.
And to Brown's point, I fully agree with him. This is a premier franchise team. in F1. And I think if anyone's capable of turning it around after some unfortunate starts, what have you, it's definitely them.
Speaking of things that went poorly, Max Verstappen had a dire China weekend. He called the sprint a disaster. He retired from the Grand Prix with a cooling issue after experiencing the same start problem he had in Australia, arriving at the grid with an empty battery, 0 points from China. And then he said this: if someone likes this racing, then you really don't know what racing is about. Maybe some fans like it, but they don't understand racing.
Basically calling them out, fans, for being fake.
He called fans who enjoy the new racing uninformed, and then Lewis Hamilton on the same podium called it the best racing I've ever experienced in Formula One. So you have a 4-time champion telling fans they're fake and a 7-time champion saying it's transcendent.
Well, to be fair to Max, he's been saying this since 2023 before he was losing.
That's true and worth noting. His critique that the yo-yo passing created by the energy mods isn't real racing, that the dangerous closing speeds at starts are a genuine safety issue. Those are legitimate arguments, regardless of where he's finishing. But calling fans unsophisticated for enjoying what they're watching is a strange strategic choice.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos Sainz weighed in this week, too. He said China was less bad than Melbourne, but accused F1 of trying to sell something we all know is not the right formula, and said the sport shouldn't wait for team consensus to fix it because teams always vote in their own performance interest, which is actually a fair point about the governance structure.
Right. Fernando Alonso, who has his own problems right now, said Aston Martin can actually compete on lap 1 when everyone has a full battery. And then we enter this battery world championship, he said. And in that, we're not as good as the others. Both funny and kind of sad.
I thought, from what I've been able to watch of the new racing, that it's really entertaining watching the yo-yo passing, more overtaking. But he's right. I mean, Max is right. I'm not racing. I'm not the one racing.
Yeah. I think it's going to be, require some adaptation. It take a little bit to get used to, when to determine the right times to use it, that sort of thing. Really starting to optimize the battery usage over the next several races, and certainly the next couple of years if it's something that we continue seeing.
Quick hits from around the paddock this week.
First one, Colton Herta. Talk to me.
American racing driver, 25 years old, 9 IndyCar wins, 2024 championship runner-up. He gave up his IndyCar career, voluntarily stepped down the ladder to race in Formula 2 this year because he's chasing an F1 seat with the Cadillac team. His debut weekend in Australia, crashed in practice, qualified 14th, finished 7th in the feature race. He called it a C-. The Cadillac CEO called it exactly according to plan. He raced against Lando Norris in junior formula in the UK back in 2015. Norris' nickname for him back then was Hooligan Herta because of his speed and high-speed corners. Norris said last year he was easily capable of racing in F1 at an incredibly high level. The last American to score an F1 podium was Michael Andretti in 1993. The last American on the grid, Logan Sargent, lasted 18 months and scored 1 point. So if Herta makes it to the F1, the story writes itself. He's the right guy at the right time for an American F1 fandom.
All right.
Don't you think that would be kind of huge for Cadillac's brand to actually have an American driver?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The marketing handles itself.
Yeah. Right now it's like, whoa, what is this racing, this European racing, if people weren't unfamiliar with Formula One? And so it makes sense to have drivers who are really experienced at the sport.
Yeah.
Like they've won before.
Yep.
They've won races. So it's like,
All right. You got another one for me? George Russell's Chinese fan base?
This one's genuinely delightful. In China, every time George Russell made a pass, the crowd went absolutely wild, which was confusing to everyone watching on TV who knows Russell isn't exactly a household name in the States yet. But here's why. The Chinese pronunciation of Russell, which I will not try, fans changed the last syllable and made it to elder sister, so they can call him Big Sister by saying his name that way.
Okay, nice.
Because he looks out for his younger teammate Antonelli the way a big sister would. Hundreds of Chinese fans showed up to the race with homemade merch, Big Sister George Russell in China. I mean, he has his own fan section. Language is wonderful, and sometimes things get a little silly. You know?
Indeed. All right, third one. Carlos Sainz, no regrets about leaving McLaren.
Sainz was on a podcast this week and was asked if he regrets leaving McLaren for Ferrari back in 2020, given that Lando Norris just won the championship with the team. His answer was essentially no, and here's why. When he left McLaren for Ferrari in 2021, McLaren was still almost dead last in qualifying in Bahrain that year. He won his first race at Ferrari while McLaren was rebuilding from the bottom. The timing was right when it happened. He also drew a direct parallel between where Williams is now and where McLaren was when he joined them in 2019. He said Williams is his life project. He's 31. He wants to help build them back to the front over the next several years, which is either inspiring or heartbreaking depending on how you feel about Williams' ceiling.
Yep.
I mean, they're not the sorriest team on the grid.
No.
Aston Martin is like, hold my beer.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, it's leaving someone like McLaren. You've got to be confident about that decision because you are leaving, kind of like I mentioned earlier, one of the premier teams there. So no doubt that he was confident at the time and still feels good about it.
2 rounds in, including a sprint. Sean, give me the shape of the season.
So as far as the drivers look, we've got Russell leading the championship, Antonelli in second after his win, Hamilton third, Leclerc fourth. Mercedes has got a stranglehold on the top of the table here. Both their drivers in contention for the title. Then we look at the constructors. Just mentioned them. Mercedes, dominant. Ferrari there in second. McLaren a distant third with just 18 points, and both drivers having failed to start in China. You've got Red Bull in fourth, with Max scoring 0 points in China. Hajar's been solid, but had an early spin there. Racing Bulls are in fifth. Lawson had a strong China recovery.
Lando Norris is at 0 points.
That's right. The reigning champion with number 1 on his car, not gotten to score a single championship point in 2 rounds, which is honestly kind of astonishing.
Yep. It's crazy to say out loud. I mean, Japan is next. That'll be March 29th. That's a proper driver circuit. High speed, technically demanding, very different from Melbourne and Shanghai. So we'll find out a lot more about the real pecking order as we get through that race.
That's right.
Last thing, because Lando needs a little bit of a win. He may have 0 points on the grid, but he is getting a Madame Tussauds figure in London, his first ever. He's been working with the studio artist on it. His quote, "It's pretty surreal to think I'll have a figure there. It's such a big honor."
Right. The GM said, and I love this, that Lando was fantastic throughout the process, patiently sitting still, not racing around as usual. His figure is going to join Lewis Hamilton's in the culture capital zone alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Mo Salah, Anthony Joshua, and Kylian Mbappe.
World champion wax figure, Big Sister George Russell, Kimi Antonelli crying on the podium at 19. Japan is next. Verstappen needs a result. McLaren needs a miracle. Ferrari needs to close that gap to keep this at least interesting and not let Mercedes run away with it. And Aston Martin needs all of it, anything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. Excited for the next race in a couple weeks.
Man. And then we're going to have a big break.
That's right.
Where we're
as we mentioned last week. Yep.
We'll be diving a lot more into draft coverage, getting into some position groups, get more familiar with the names you need to know. Maybe just a couple of tiers in each one.
There we go. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, for Sean and myself, this has been the Wit and Grit Show. Thank you for tuning in. And,
everybody, enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy the March Madness. Peace out.